What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we've got some stock yardages. So I recently wrapped up my off-season indoor golf program. I'm back in British Columbia, and so figured this would be a great video to kind of keep things rolling on the channel. Club number one is my 58 degree Vokey wedge. I hit this thing anything under 100 yards. It's pretty much my threshold for me. I try not to stretch it above 90 most often, but can do if the situation arises. My 52 degree wedge, feel very comfortable anything between 100 to kind of 120. I can also stretch it to 125 if need be. You'll notice my ranges will kind of shrink in my mid irons, and then they'll start to extend again as we get into the longer irons. 48 degree, this is the newest club in my bag. 130 stock. This was filling the gap between my 52 wedge and my pitching wedge, which led to some issues in a lot of my rounds last year, and kind of that 130 mark where I didn't really want to hit a knockdown 46. As much as my 48 degree and 46 are pretty much the same angles, one is a Vokey and the other is a T100, and so just due to the nature of the clubs, the pitching wedge does go a lot further. Onto the 9-iron here, standard 150 shot. Typically, I'll actually hit this more in that 155 range, depending on how my swing's feeling that day, but yeah, I can go lower or higher depending on what's needed. Same here for the 8-iron, so we're in 15 yardage increments here for the most part. That's kind of what the averages came out to. The way I did this video, I took 5 shots, took the average, and then kind of rounded off to the nearest fifth. So yeah, 8-iron at 165, up 15 yards from there. 7-irons at 180. Often play this at the 185 mark, but it can stretch to 190 or down to 175 if I need to. And then now we're moving into the long irons here with 6, 5, and 4 up next. 195 for my 6-iron, and I'll kind of knock this down 10 instead of the 5 yards, which you would have noticed from my mid irons. So 195 with a range from 185 up 10 as well to 205 if need be. Same for my 5-iron, so it's 200 to 220, a 20 yardage gap there in terms of the distances that I'm comfortable hitting, and that just really comes down to, do I need to clear it? Is there going to be a lot of roll? I hit a pretty low ball flight naturally, and so if I'm trying to carry a bunker, I might even pull a 5-iron out versus a 4-iron depending on what that carry distance is. And yeah, 4-iron stock at 225 down to 215 up to 235, although it would need to be a very pure shot with some helping wind to stretch that to 235. And then gapper is kind of a 230 plus club for me. I would say off the deck, anywhere in the fairway, 230 to 240 is pretty safe. However, if I'm hitting it off the tee, I can stretch that to 260 if conditions are favorable, no problem. So yeah, it's a nice fairway finder for me most of the time, although I have not been hitting it that great so far this year. And driver, I would say stock kind of around that 270 to 290 range, but low baby cut can go 250, 260 sometimes. And if it's a grip it and rip it hole, I can kind of stretch that to 310. So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you're all having a great start to the season. Hopefully this video was somewhat helpful. And remember, you better be keeping the ball straight.